First and foremost, tell us what Halozyme does, because it's fascinating. It's, for example, those that many of us are affected by cancer, you're trying to target the way in which we are treated with chemotherapy and make it easier, quicker.
Yes, exactly, and thank you for having us here. Yes, we are a biotech company based in San Diego, and we have a drug delivery platform for subcutaneous drug delivery. We license it to leading companies like Roche and Bristol Myers Squibb and Janssen, and they can transform their intravenous therapies for cancer and autoimmune disease that generally have to be given in hour-long infusions in an infusion suite into a simple, short, 3 to 5 minute subcutaneous injection under the skin. Often that means patient doesn't have to travel to a big hospital for it. They can have it in the doctor's office or with some of our treatments even at home. And so you can imagine that is transformative for the patient, for the caregiver who's having to do all the travel coordination, but it also saves the healthcare system. And it's a very large and growing business. We expect revenues of about $1 billion this year, $600 million in EBITDA. And so it's a very attractive growing business throwing off cash, hence our interest in using that cash to further accelerate our growth.
So why, therefore, buy a company that does drug discovery, does drug manufacturing?
Yeah, there's some core principles. You can imagine that our business is a licensing business. We go to the pharma companies and we license them our technology. At the core, that's what Evotec does as well. It does it with drug discovery, so they have a mission to invent more effective medicines. But they'll do that with partners, same partners as us, and even larger number of partners. And they also have got manufacturing, where they want to be the manufacturer using a new process that's called continuous manufacturing that'll deliver higher quality and lower cost, again, for those same partners. So by adding 2 additional divisions of strong revenue growth and EBITDA contribution, you can imagine that's a great combination for Halozyme. Similar business model, similar principle that we want to be the best partner with the most innovative and best technologies.
It seemed to throw the market off a little bit. Evotec itself has been pretty beaten up over the years, down 59%. That's why private equity's been eyeing it, you're eyeing it. What do you think the market isn't getting? Because you've now explained that you're paying for it in cash, so it's not going to be a liquidation, an issue from the erosion of value from their share price perspective. What now do you need to convince investors of?
Yeah, certainly there were some recent headwinds, but we think those are definitely past, as we have conducted a lot of customer interviews to understand how Evotec's platforms are seen and how they're going to be used for the future. And so we see this as Evotec is poised for growth at this point in time. I think in talking to investors, and this is day 2 of us talking to investors, there's really beginning to be an appreciation for the unique combination that this would create. We would create a leading pharma services company with well above average growth margins for EBITDA. I mean, that's very attractive, obviously, for what you can do with that cash to further fuel growth, and also durable revenues for a very long time into the next decade and beyond.
It's interesting the timing. Is this a moment that is good to do M&A, cross-border M&A? Was you aware of the fact that people are thinking M&A is going to be easier in the next administration?
No, we have been working for a couple of years, actually, to find the right acquisition to use our cash to return value to shareholders. This comes after months of research with, as I say, more than 50 customers of Evotec, 2 consulting groups. We have been looking for the right combination, and we have very strict criteria, and Evotec hits it in terms of growth of revenue, growth of EBITDA, pharmaceutical partners, de-risk businesses. It is just a terrific fit, and we're going to have the opportunity to grow by cross-selling platforms to all of the current partners. Evotec has over 500 partners. We have about 10. But also by having the best and the most diverse platform now that goes end-to-end will attract new partners, new people who hadn't worked with Evotec before. So that's where the growth will come, both from within expansion, but also new partners too.